Did too early. Damn it.
Hey, we got the intro this week of this music fix again.
What up? That's too loud. Welcome to The Vibe is Spoken, the premier Trevor podcast for people who are up way too late and annoying, like me. Hi. Also, Cameron.
Hi.
Hi. I saw a lot of distaste for this week's episode. What do you think?
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a long episode. It felt I'm exhausted.
Because you just came from it.
I finished watching it not 10 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Do I comprehend what all happened? I don't know.
I think I got notes.
We're gonna talk about as much of it as we can without delving into madness.
And it should be shorter than last week, because last week was the premiere. Like, oh, hey, these are the people. What do we think of them? This week is.
Yeah, I think next week is when it goes back to being 90 minutes.
I think so too.
First 2 weeks or 2 hours.
I wouldn't mind if the merge episode was 2 hours. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just in terms of like how to utilize 2 hours the best, it should be premiere, merge, finale, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, finale should be more than 2 hours.
I agree. I'm curious what you mean.
I understand what Matthew means entirely. It was going back and forth, like in the most insane way. In that it's like, it's Jess, it's Kenzie, but what if it's Banu? It's back to Jess. Hi, Q and Tiffany. It's nice to have you here.
Anyways, yeah. So it actually starts with that. One of the first things in the episode when we open it is Kenzie complaining about Banu and that he's a liability because he can't keep things to himself. Because I forgot what happened last week, but he just keeps talking.
Because during Tribal last week, Banu was basically like, well, yeah, we're all voting Jelinski. It's time to vote. Let's vote. Like, it's pretty obvious, guys.
I'll be honest, I forgot his name.
Who, Jelinski?
I am monster? Not. Jelinski is the monster.
Jelinski is the monster.
I'm less interested in everything for this season.
Jelinski has a several-foot wingspan.
You're exactly correct. Yeah, so we come back with the Yanu, the Purple Tribe, come back to camp.
You knew.
Yeah. I did know. Yeah, it was close. And God, here's the thing. There's plenty to talk about. There's absolutely enough to talk about. I don't really give a shit.
Yeah. There's so much happened. It was so exhausting. Like, here's the thing: is like the first hour, I was like, "This is pretty fun. We're getting a lot of interesting camp life stuff. It's good." And then like the challenge started, and just it screeched to a halt.
I want to say this is only the second time in Survivor history that a commercial has happened during a challenge.
It's definitely rare.
Because to my knowledge, the first one ever was during the heat stroke in Ko Rong.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Which, if these are what we're balancing of the single biggest medical event in Survivor history, which was like number of injuries, whatever. And my arms hurt.
Yeah,
we're jumping around.
I guess, do we want to go through like the general vibe of what's going down on each tribe before we get to the challenge?
What I should do is reorganize my notes into like each tribe and like what each one does, and then we go to tribal or whatever to challenge. Then we go to the yellow tribe, the Nami tribe. I know that one because I was thinking fucking One Piece. And Venus is struggling to be open, which I like. I enjoy connecting with her like that. And then fucking Randon is like, boo, it's a Parvati. We can't trust her. Because woman.
Hey, they edited Venus with some spiders last week. So if I'm reading the edit correctly, yep.
Madam Web.
Her web connects them all.
Her mom died in the Amazon researching spiders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Randon finds the Beware advantage.
And he's like, I don't really trust anyone. So what if I go to the person I trust the least? Which is definitely a choice.
It's such a I don't trust anyone. You know who else nobody trusts? Venus. I don't trust her, but if nobody trusts her and I trust her, then
like, that's a better mentality than who's the person that I don't like.
Yeah,
which I enjoy that. I enjoy that Venus is getting some representation. Like she's actually like she is being given something to do in the episode rather than being actively ignored. Which is like not a slight against her.
We got the Venus intro package. We got the backstory package.
When I saw the backstory package, I'm like, oh, she's going home because this is the exact Justine Brennan arc, and I don't need that this season.
And then did anything else have it? And then it's mostly just like Tevin likes Hunter and is so over all of the drama, but also is like living for. He's like, I don't want to be involved. I'm gonna sit back and watch and just feast on the drama, on the mess. And then Charlie fails to dodge.
This is a new tribe. This is the Green Tribe.
No, that's what I'm saying. And then we move on to the Yiga. No, that's Siga. Is it Siga?
Siga my balls.
We move on to the Green Tribe. And we get Charlie and Maria being like,
oh, yeah.
We got Charlie and Maria being like, we're the new Malcolm and Denise, which I don't know how well they remember Survivor Philippines, but like the whole thing about Malcolm and Denise is like they became an iconic duo basically because everyone around them died in the Survivor sense.
Everyone says
they became a duo in the way that like two soldiers were the only people left from at the end of a war become a duo, where it's like we're a duo because we're the only two people left, and they're like, that's us.
It's everyone wants to be a Denise and a Malcolm or a JT and a Steven. That's all it is. Everyone's like, I want to be in these iconic connections.
And why does no one ever want to be Bob and Sugar? Why does no one ever want to be Rich and Rudy? Why does nobody ever
I feel like if I get on the show,
alliance, me and my duo, we're Brian and Clay.
If I get on the show, I am very well aware that I'm probably going to be...
We're Rupert and Balboa the Snake.
I'm probably going to find my Rudy more likely than not. I'll just become really attached to a straight man and get really close with him where I would almost throw the game for him, but I would be like real hard to vote him out.
I mean, if that's your prerogative, that's your prerogative. Like,
and then you get $1 million.
I'm trying to think who's like the worst duo in Survivor.
Francesca and Philip.
Francesca and The Rock that she ate.
I wish that there was a whole segment at the reunion of just, and here's Francesca's table. She's gonna work on this rock that we pulled from the islands. Whole show.
The most powerful duo in Survivor history, Coach and the Lord on High Almighty.
Here's the thing: everyone wants to be a JT and a Steven. Why does no one want to be a JT, Coach, and Courtney?
Dude, if we want to talk about people being Malcolm and Denise, you know who tried being Malcolm and Denise and it didn't work? Adam and Denise. And that didn't work out for them. Like it just didn't work. But yeah, Charlie and Maria make the deal, and then we get the showdown of a lifetime in Survivor history.
where Ben
Not
and
since
Charlie.
Survivor Palau's final immunity challenge have we seen two people go head to head in such an intense way.
Ben and Charlie are going at it, naming songs from Taylor Swift and Metallica. And you know it's over when Ben says, I can't remember the bad albums. And then Charlie says, there are no bad albums for Taylor Swift, which is incorrect.
He's wrong.
Debut exists.
That's not even the worst Taylor Swift album, but go off.
If you say Reputation, I will kill you.
Well, then I'm not going to.
All right, so then we get to the challenge. Reputation is filled with such bangers.
Yeah.
I Did Something Bad is great. Even
it also describes the making of the song Look What You Made Me Do.
Here's the thing. I think the song on its own, yeah, it's not great. Its performance at the Eras tour, banger. Makes the song better.
I didn't see the Eras tour movie. I didn't go to the Eras tour. When it drops on Disney Plus this weekend, we'll see if my fiance is like, we have to watch it. But also she's going to the tour, so I don't know if she's gonna make me watch that.
You should get another ticket and go with her.
I'm not made of money.
You did win a game
she's
show.
Not coming here, so I would have to get a ticket and fly to Toronto.
You did win a game show. I know you have money. It is going towards
that money
your
is in savings and is going towards my wedding.
But you could go to the Eras.
Moving on. Challenge.
No, not yet. There is one.
Oh,
actually, there's two important things for me. Number one, the second best quote of the episode. Sorry, third best quote of the episode is they're just hanging out. And one sec, I gotta fucking fight Cosmo.
Matthew was saying we missed Kenzie.
I'm getting to that.
Yeah.
Jess says that I eat ants because I don't want to talk to people. I eat the ants, I don't have to talk. Incredible line. What are you doing, dude?
It was pointed out to me that Jess is not the first player to be like kind of weirdly socially outcast for eating bugs, because Xi'an in Thailand apparently did the same thing. But I haven't watched that season because as much as I do hate myself, I don't hate myself that much.
I don't know what you were talking about, but to speak on Matthew's comment, Kenzie pulls in Banu and Jess and says, hey guys, we need to target Q. These physical threats are scary.
You know what else is scary? Going to tribal.
Because here's the thing, genuinely, I think that Jess probably could have gotten Kenzie out if she had just flipped Q. If she had put more work in and said, hey, this happened, Banu can back me up, Kenzie will backstab you. You will not beat her unless you get on top of her now, because she has the social ability to swing multiple people.
Someone is asking Battle for Middle Earth, and I don't understand the question.
I know War of the Rohirrim is coming out in like November.
Battle for Middle Earth. I mean, the Battle for Middle Earth is the Return of the King. Is a line in the middle of it. It's the end of the Two Towers, where it's the Battle of Helm's Deep has ended. The Battle for Middle Earth has just begun.
So he's referencing the third best Middle Earth movie. Okay.
Wrong.
You're saying you don't know what's number 2.
I'm so scared of you. Challenge.
And then we get to the challenge.
Really now?
Challenge. The challenge USA.
No.
Okay, so we get to the challenge, and it's my favorite. I think
we're being targeted by someone who's trying to promote their own shit, but I don't know.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. He's sort of like what Bonu's referencing, because it's like a dragon mermaid, but in a jungle. Anyways, so my favorite part of a challenge, listing off the parts of it. You need to untie a machete from a block and use it to cut a rope holding wheels. And using those 2 wheels, not 4, you assemble a cart. And with the cart, you got to dig up chests and put them on the cart. And you got to push the cart over speed bumps, remove obstacles in front of the thing to keep pushing it, even though you could probably just go over them. Or like pushing, you got to like fucking throw them off the side. And then you take the chest off the cart and pull up the puzzle pieces, and then you need to build a word arch. Challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much going on. It's the thing of like, because I recently watched there was a Survivor YouTuber who you put me on to, who you shared a video from,
Made
Henry
it.
Hickman.
Oh, is he like the every like challenge performance ranked?
No, that's a different guy. Henry Hickman is the dude who's like, is it a good idea to win challenges or throw challenges? Is it a
Okay.
good idea to bet on like he does
Yeah.
like statistical based analysis. And he did one talking about the disparity between US Survivor challenges and Australian Survivor challenges based on the idea of like the puzzle is the great equalizer, where like Australian Survivor doesn't have a lot of puzzles. US Survivor has a lot more. I think the thing with this one is like this puzzle in a way was quote unquote the great equalizer because like it put every team dead even until someone finally took a lead. But I also wouldn't call this the great equalizer or like a fair one because like the puzzle was not the hard part of the puzzle. The hard part of the puzzle was it being a deeply physical challenge
They
where they had to
fucking
lift extremely heavy blocks.
they.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had words and I forgot. Sorry, go ahead.
But like they're just like at the end of the day, the first 2/3, 3/4, however much you want to say of this challenge, like it didn't matter. None of it had anything to do with anything.
Yeah,
It
they
came
got
down
it
to
like real fucking quickly.
yeah, like they all got the word, and then just they couldn't get those blocks. And to be fair, like I don't know how heavy those blocks are based on how they were acting. Those things have got to be like at least like 25 pounds a piece, if not more. Like those are
So
not light blocks.
I have an interesting statistic. Of the 5 new era seasons that we've got, which I would say is again everything's changed there. I think that's where we got in this structure of challenge of thing.
Yeah.
3/5 of them have had one tribe go to the majority of premier tribal councils. Because 41 had the UA fall apart, 44 had the Tika fall apart, and 45 had the Lulu of it all. And now we're considering the same thing with Yanu. Because and like I think this is where we're really amplifying the issue of you can't like sub anyone out. Is when you have players like Jess who are just not the strongest initially, who then have to go, there's no fire, there's no guaranteed food anymore. And when you win the fucking challenge, what do you get? You get fishing gear that no one fucking uses. Because you waste too much energy getting that fish. It is like systematically not gonna work when players who are already beaten down, who are never gonna get enough sustenance, need to do super long challenges.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Again, like especially watching this at the same time that like there's a season of Australian Survivor on right now. Like this season of Australian Survivor is weird because like the challenges aren't as extremely physically like disparate as others. Where like the immunity challenge in one of the most recent episodes was literally like, hey, you're gonna it's like just a 3-tiered tilt ball maze. No like running, no smashing things, no like lifting anything heavy. It's literally just like, hey, first person to complete this dexterity based challenge wins. You have as long as you need. It takes minimal effort. Do it. And then seeing in Survivor US, it's like carry a 500-pound gecko. Stack blocks on your spine until you get scoliosis.
Okay, wait, no, I do like the gecko.
Oh, I
The
like the
gecko
gecko. I
fox.
want one, but
Yeah.
like in terms of making something fair and reasonable, I wouldn't call it like the most equitable thing.
I also think that more seasons should be open to doing hero challenges of pick your strongest person or two people and they do it, the rest of you sit out.
Yeah.
Especially if they do
Even like
more of that. Like if they have like I don't think planned obsolescence is the right word, but if you plan for smaller groups, that way even the tribes who keep going to tribal council can keep subbing out people, which also helps with like consistent swaps. But then you're able
and
to like not have Jess fucking in the middle of this massive fucking thing where she have a several foot wingspan to hold this heavy shit up, and Bonnie doesn't fucking scream at her with the Be Nice t-shirt.
Yeah. And that's another thing where, like, to continue being the Australian Survivor guy here, like, Australian Survivor, a thing they do is really cool is they will have pre-merge endurance challenges where as a tribe, it's like either it's like you're individually going, but just one person wins it for your tribe, or they've also done, like, one of my favorite ones that they've done a couple times is it's you choose the order and stand every member of your team in a line, and each pair of people has to hold a disc between, like, their pair of
The
hands.
wingspan one.
And yeah, it's like that. And as long as one disc is still up, your team is still in the challenge, and that's all it takes. So one pair is all you really need. Or they'll have, like, another one that I really like is you as a tribe have, like, everyone has a like, I think it's like a 50-pound sandbag that they're holding above their head. And anyone can drop out at any point and hand their sandbag off to any other person on their team, but now that person's holding two. And it's basically like, yeah, the weaker people can drop out, let the stronger people keep going, but now it's harder for the stronger people. And I think, like, I really like their challenge designs and their challenge structures. Like, Australian Survivor is killing it right now. Titans versus Rebels is a better season than Survivor 45.
I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna start it soon, even though I know that yesterday's episode had some fucking, like, controversy or whatever.
I think people are making a way bigger deal out of it than they need to. But we can talk about that off call. So yeah, the challenge happens. Venus gets her toe run over by a cart, and that becomes a deal.
And later. Everyone's like, "No, you don't mind. No, you're forgetting the important part. Is that Soda stole the fucking immunity idol again?"
Yeah, she tried to. She didn't get it, but she tried to. And then the Green Tribe gets second place, and then Banu screams because he's a very passionate person. It's a little scary.
Oh, actually, I was like, Matthew's bringing up the important part. Liz and Mo shout out. Parent Trap.
I'll tell you, when we got the cast bios and I saw Liz, Mo, and Kenzie, and I was like, each tribe has girl with glasses, tattoos ish. Like, I was like,
one of them is mean.
Yeah.
One of them is the stepmom no one likes.
We have the same person in 3 different fonts. And I'm excited to see it.
It's Ariel, Helvetica, and Helvetica Bold.
You know, perhaps. And then we get back from Tribal, or not from Tribal, from the challenge.
Yeah, and it's like pretty clear because Tiffany goes off and is like, I straight up can't handle this shit. And then Kenzie follows her, and then Q follows her. So what's the fucking point then? Like, she wants privacy, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you can go on your own. Let's go hang out." Like, no, I don't understand. I don't fucking understand.
Matthew was wondering what the most expensive font is. Comic Sans. Obviously. Nothing says I'm rich like, look at me using Comic Sans and you have to take me seriously because I have money.
I wish Elon should have changed the Twitter logo to X, but in Comic Sans.
Hey, you know, there's a lot of things Elon Musk should have done.
That's fair.
Namely, stop his father from participating in apartheid. But that's neither here nor there. We're losing the plot. We're losing the plot.
And then Kenzie, like, you get to talk, and Tiffany's like, yeah, let's go. And then it's, let's give Jess a fake idol so she does a new shot in the dark.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, but you could just do, like, the normal thing. Like, we bullied was it Angelina or was it someone else in Versus Goliath?
For what?
The fake idol.
Oh yeah, Angelina making the fake idol to give to Allison for no reason.
Like let's call a spade a spade. She probably was already going to lose the season, but that is where she lost the season. Because you went out of your way to bully somebody for a little bit more safety. In what fucking world is Jess safe and you don't just fucking vote out Banu instead? if you trust your allies.
And it's a really interesting thing because I mentioned this when watching it, is that like, because I get the idea of like we got to play around the shot in the dark, but these people haven't seen Survivor 45. Like
No,
that didn't air, they didn't know about it, and
it's
so
still
they
a
have
fear,
no
though.
idea that like the shot in the dark can work. It's never worked, and they're still like, we got to play around it. We got to be paranoid when they have no evidence or reason to believe that it is a thing that works, that does anything. And then it gets needlessly complicated, and we fully lose the plot of everything that's going on that tribe.
Yeah.
I also want to briefly like jump over because a thing that like happened slightly before is we go to the Nami tribe, and it's like, hey, they ran over my foot. Soda keeps trying to steal the idol. I keep forgetting to turn off these reaction things, so all of these symbols are going to show up on my screen. And it really is like we got a lot of Venus content today, and we didn't need to.
Get winners edit. Give me the winners edit.
Let
If
me tell
Venus
you,
wins,
as an Australian Survivor fan, let me tell you, Edgic means nothing. It's dead. It has been found dead in a gutter.
was it just like the person who got like the most confessionals just got voted out or some shit? Is that what's going
Oh,
on?
it had nothing to do with most confessionals. It was just like someone was getting the stereotypical Australian Survivor winners edit and then get sniped out in 9th place.
That's good then. That's good for your
Oh,
fucking
I
magic
very much like
predictability
it. It makes things
problems.
fun and up in the air. And I get to laugh at all the people who are like, I swear by Edgic. And I'm like,
It's
you
so
don't, you
obvious.
shouldn't
Why
swear by
even watch the season?
Yeah. And then people are like, oh no, this person's getting the losing finalist edit starting like earlier in the week, like 2 episodes ago. They're like, oh, it's not the winners edit, it's the losing finalist edit. And then they get sniped out in 9th
That's
place.
true. Consecutive winners who are talking
True.
about their feet.
This is true.
Did Gabler show off his fucking dogs? That's how we know what the winners edit structure
No,
is now.
his dogs were hiding under the water, waiting to creep back out and make his move.
Alligators.
Alligator.
Yeah. And then not only do they make the fake idol that Jess clocks almost immediately, Tiffany goes and hides it, tries to find it with Jess. Jess says, "Oops, can't find it."
Wanders off in the woods.
It's not here. So then she takes it, gives it to Q, and then Q gives it to Jess. And then Jess is like, "I don't think this is real." And then Q says, "Okay, I can take it back then." What the fuck is this? You are villains. You are fucking bullies.
Like, this episode is exhausting and so messy for every like straight up. Tiffany comes out relatively scot-free on this one from like a in-game standpoint. Like, I think Tiffany seems like she's doing pretty okay.
Tiffany is giving like 7th place right now. I think she's doing pretty good in avoiding a lot of the mess.
Yeah. And then like I think Q is doing fine. And then like everything just goes crazy where it's like, okay, there's all 4 of us going for Jess. Jess is going out, we give her the fake idol. And then it's like, but the 3 of us are gonna go for Banu. And we're gonna vote Banu out, and Banu thinks we're gonna go for Jess. But actually, me, Banu, and Jess are gonna go for Kenzie and vote out Kenzie. And Q and Tiffany are entirely safe, just implicitly, and no one cares to bring up their names.
I hope that's correct.
Last week, both of us were like, yeah, Kenzie getting the traditional winners edit. And now this week, I'm like, I don't know anymore.
I don't know who's a winners edit so far. Because Kenzie does get the most
Hunter, maybe he's just there.
I really hope it's Tevin. Tevin would be a great winner.
Tevin would be such a great winner.
I'm saving to find the confessional account for this week.
And then, is there anything else like super major pre-tribal? Like, it's so hard to explain what happens pre-tribal because it's all a mess and it makes no sense.
I do want to shout
out like the best way to describe pre-tribal is like Q and Tiffany are sitting there while everyone else is pointing guns at each other in like in the scene from The Office where they're doing the Mexican standoff with like the 4 of them in the room. And then it's like Q and Tiffany are just like, hey, we're here too. We're going to see how this plays out and figure this out. And it's just a mess.
I do
And,
want to shout
like,
out before we go to tribal. My second favorite, my second favorite quote of the episode is actually that is tribal. Ignore me. As you were
said,
saying,
tribal.
tribal. Yeah. My second favorite quote of the episode comes pretty early into tribal, where they were talking about Banu cutting his hands, and while he was like helping prep food, and then Jeff says, "Do you mean he fed you a part of his flesh?" And then Jeff says, "I wish. I really need the protein." I love her. She's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a pretty great line. It really is a also just a wild thing for anyone to like for Jeff to say that, and then
It's a really
for
great
Jess
line.
for Jess to like sincerely respond to the statement is and then like I think the story of the tribal is really like Jess being like, I want to try to work with people, but it doesn't seem like they want to try to work with me. And then Banu just like repeatedly shooting himself in the foot and somehow making it out of it alive. Like,
What?
oh yeah, Jeff and his knife. Jeff cut the bandana off of the idol. I hope he stabs another rice bag this season. That was pretty fun.
Where the
But like, yeah, I Banu had one of the worst tribal showings I've ever seen in Survivor. I
He
don't know if
pulled a
you.
Garrett, and he's still here.
Yeah. Well, maybe if Jess had thrown all their rice in the fire, then she would have stayed. Oh, but they didn't have any rice for Jess to throw in the fire, so she couldn't stay.
That's why the new era is bad.
Terrible. It's really just like so bad on Banu's part. Just being like so aggressively open, but like not in a way that's endearing. Like it's not like this is who I am. I'm on display. I'm an open book. He's like, listen to me. I will never lie to you. I will tell you how it is. You will listen to me. Let's get to it. And like he got real aggressive. He got real aggressive this week. Both in the challenge and at tribal.
Because he wears his heart in his sleeve, man. Which is why he pulled a fucking he pulled a Carla, where it's like, oh, I'm going home. I'm making a live tribal. Whoa, the chaos, the madness.
I
Was
will
he
say
anxious? Yes.
I did love when they're like, all right, it's time to vote. And Banu leans over to Kenzie. He's like, so who are we voting for? And Kenzie's like, whoever you want, man. You're a player in this game too. Like,
It's like
who are we voting for? Somebody. I ain't telling you shit.
here's the thing, because here's the thing, Banu should just pull a fucking Sean. Next episode, just be like, yeah, I'm probably gonna go home. Just gonna quit. Just take the uneasiness out. Just vote for me. It's fine.
But like Banu, I don't think is that kind of guy.
No, he's gonna fight to the very end, which is why he started fucking freaking out at tribal for no goddamn reason.
Like I thought Banu was going full
Same.
on.
I'm so mad Jess
like
fucking
it seemed like everyone was just like ready to be done with Banu, and that didn't end up being the case. And we'll see how that goes for everyone. Because yeah, like Jess plays the fake idol, sees that it's fake, and is like, "Wow, Q, you did it!" And then Banu's name comes up, and I was like, "Oh!" And then Jess's name comes up 3 times, and I'm like, "Boo! I wanted Banu gone."
I think I wrote in one of my group chats that I was looking for like a Jess cockroach edit, because if she could somehow like keep like squeaking along by everyone else fucking up, I would love that. I think it'd be a great like structure for a character here.
Yeah.
But then it's just she's cut unceremoniously, because here's the thing, I'm sure that if like they got to like a proper like do a puzzle comp, or even, I think she would probably do really good in like a last gasp, like an endurance challenge.
Yeah.
But when everything is like by balancing it, you still make it so like this challenge was almost 100% strength based. We're going off of, and again, I don't mind that we're having some like challenges that are like uneven because some players are better at certain challenges. But when you like your philosophy is we want to make sure that every challenge is like goes to every equal for everyone. That's not what this is. Call a spade a spade. This is a strength-based challenge that is fun. Admit to it. Like if this was like Final Five immunity, I fuck with that hard. I think that'd be awesome.
Also, a thing that we fully brushed past is like the pre-challenge chat was aggressive from everyone.
Oh my god, Jelinski's gone, even though he quit
They're like,
the
oh my gosh,
challenge.
Zelensky's gone. And then they were like, wow, you guys are reacting a lot to that. And then someone's like, well, ha ha ha, several means seven joke. And I can't remember what the exact joke was. And then like and then like Banu gets a little defensive. And then Soda's like, hey, like makes some big comment. And then Banu once again just like goes way too hard and is like, yeah, you know what? We don't have food. You know who else didn't have food? Gandhi. And it's like, what are we doing? What is any of this? We're losing the plot, Banu.
Are we just coming into like, oh, is this just South Pacific again? Are we just getting the whole cast that
Here's
fucking
the thing.
hates
I have not seen the season, but my fiance Jordan, she was comparing this to Thailand with just how villainous and mean everybody seems.
You know what? Then Kenzie might win.
And it's something. Hey, you know what? As long as Kenzie hasn't killed a dog and starred in softcore pornography, Jeff would be fine with it. Those are both things that Brian Heidick has done.
What I'm hearing is that more of us need to be in softcore porn if we want to get casted on Survivor.
No.
It also got Ozzy on.
He was on before he did the adult filmmaking.
He was, he was on that like MTV After Dark fucking whatever.
I don't know.
Where he was like making out and alluded to fucking, but never showed the fucking.
Yeah.
I
don't know. But yeah,
it was it's boring.
It was weirdly aggressive, and I think like it's very distinctly negative for Soda, who like we never saw Soda's perspective on anything this episode, and just like consistently we're showing that Soda sucks.
Which so if Venus is in the winner position, then I think it makes sense that she's like the villain of our like winner or finalist or whatever.
Yeah, it's this episode was a whole ass mess, and it felt so long, and I got very tired and burnt out by the end of it. And then the scenes from the next episode, they were like, what if we went after Hunter? And I'm mad.
there is once the best line in the episode that I am shocked was not the episode title, because it sort of works for every tribe besides the Aryan tribe, is when Banu goes to Tiffany and is like, are we still voting? Are we still voting? Or like, are we changing the plan? And she says, stop making the block hot. That is iconic. If she wins, that needs to be her like winner's clip until the TikTok edit montage, whatever. It's such a good line.
Like, here's the thing. I feel like I could have appreciated that tribal more if I wasn't already so burnt out by the episode by the time we got there. Because like, it's no secret. I love me a messy, dramatic tribal. My two favorite tribals in Survivor history are the Edge of Extinction, I'm Jumping Ship tribal, and the Australian Survivor Heroes versus Villains episode 7 tribal, where one player pulls out an idol and basically holds the entire game hostage for half an hour in the greatest display of power ever seen on the show. Like, I love me messy, chaotic, dramatic tribals. I just was so done with this one.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say before we get to, because next we all I'll talk about next week was the mermaid dragon thing.
Mermaid dragon, which like also like what a cool thing for someone to call you. Like, cool, like if I went on Survivor and it was like, yo, Cameron, he's like a dragon mixed with a merman, I'd be like, sure.
Why not gonna lie, I would 100% like get a tattoo of a mermaid dragon. I was
and then yeah, like we hear Soda being like, we gotta go after Hunter, which boo. No, I like Hunter.
Soda's just adding to her villain arc.
I know he's not getting a ton, but I like Hunter so far. He seems chill. He seems cool. He seems like he's just naturally going to be good at Survivor, and I want to see him do well. Like,
here's what we're missing. We got, I want to say, like 3 or 4 tribals left before we get to the merge, the proper jury phase.
yeah.
We normally merge episode 6. What we need
Yeah.
is Ben gone, Soda gone, and Kenzie gone, and Bono. I think Kenzie makes merge. Who?
Bakugan.
And then I think that Liz probably goes as well. It's probably going to be Banu, Liz, or Mariah, whichever one of them is which. Soda and Ben.
Liz is the one on the orange tribe. Mariah is the one who looks like Liz. That's how you tell them apart.
Like,
and Banu is on Yanu, and Maria and Mariah are on the same tribe.
Nothing's wrong with him, but actually,
and
I think
if you're in
right.
Canada, Soda is named Pop.
That's not so. Fun fact: my coworker at work calls Soda Pop, and I had like a little bit of an ick. What are you fucking doing, dude? I think Ben is gonna go because he's not the deepest and sort of boring. I'm right here. What's your goal? What do you want?
Meow.
Oh yeah, he's a handful right now. Yeah, I just want to get to the merch. Like, I think these are enough characters that I want to see them develop more than just seeing Yanu getting fucked.
I want to swap.
Not next episode.
Not next episode, but at 15.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I miss 2 tribes. Honestly, get down to 14, and then swap to 2 tribes to 7.
Give me 20 people. Give me 2 tribes.
Yeah, here's the thing. You do 14, or 2 tribes to 7, 3 episodes, merge 11. That's what you always fucking do. 3 at 8.
Well, do I have the pitch for you? Because there's a little show called Australian Survivor: Titans versus Rebels. 2 tribes of 24 people playing Survivor for like 2 months. It's like a 56-day game or something like that. It's insane. Like, day 26, Survivor is done. Day 26, they haven't merged yet in Australia.
That sounds like hell.
Oh, it's great. It's awesome. It's so fun. It's
giving the later seasons of Total Drama where they wanted to expand the timeline, so they just had like non-boot episodes just to develop it more.
But if you want to see a bunch of people all in one group, all on one island,
to watch One World.
No. I would never suggest you watch something as terrible as One World. I'm going to suggest you watch the best show currently on television. Deal or No Deal Island.
Are you your update, or did you give up watching?
Episode 2, Boston Rob won a challenge. He shot a crossbow at a target for $1.5 million. He doesn't get that money right away. And then an old lady beat the banker in a game of Deal or No Deal and got to choose any player she wanted to go home from the game except for Rob and a tiny little twink. And it was some guy who, like, I don't know his name. I knew nothing about him.
The twink survives.
The twink prevails. Deal or No Deal Island is so bad. I love it so much.
All right. See you next week.
Yeehaw.
Yeah. See you next week for probably Banu going home. That's my bet. Banu or Liz. Lock it in.
I always forget that I can, like, perfectly trigger